Okay, we'll do a nice little honey harvest and just do this last frame over here. It's actually full, even though it doesn't look it on the back here, but it was actually full when I looked into it. So if I just turn these two handles here, I'll just have to hang on to this a little bit. Hang on a second. Turn those two. And here comes the honey running down the tube and out into the container. How cool is that? Bees are just working away, doing the normal thing. Shoo fly, don't really want flies. Plenty of lovely honey. While we're at it, as you can see, bees are working away on the frame. It's all full. So they'll eventually uncap that after I take the honey out, and then they'll repurpose it to put more honey in. Sort of an orangey colour, pretty cool. It's flying pretty quick. It's about 32 degrees at the moment, Celsius. Might actually grab another container while that's flowing. Probably leave that side cover off actually. Now if you have a look, whoops, put that down. You can actually already see here it's gone light. This is dark. It's because we've taken the honey out of this section here. And that there is obviously where it's still got honey in it. So as I continue to move these tools in and turn them a bit further in the top here, that'll open up further. So at the moment, you can already see there's a bee there starting to pull the capping off and going in. So they already know the honey's gone, so I'll start pulling all the wax capping off and start to try and refill those again. So I'll move these tools in a little bit and we'll go again. So if you're watching there, you'll probably watch as the wax goes clear on this end, and that's as the honey goes out. The bees walking on the cells realise that it's empty, and then they pull the wax capping off, and when they clean up the cells, and then they'll repurpose them and fill them full of honey again. I haven't watched it drain out like that before. It's pretty cool. So it was to here, and it's already starting to come out here, getting clearer and clearer because it was only here. You can already see just down here they're already starting to get into those, and they're probably pulling some of the honey out and feasting on it themselves. It's getting lighter here as well, and here it's still dark over here, so it's already gone from here to about here. It's still a little bit dark here at the bottom, but it's definitely light right up here in the top, so it's all slowly draining out and running down through the tube, through the cavity in the bottom here, and running along and then coming out. I don't know if I'll be able to swap this over. I'll see if I can hang on to this camera while I swap it. It's getting close, not quite ready, but we should probably get at least 2 of these large containers, and then I've got some smaller containers to fill. It's pretty cool to watch. Okay, we're getting close there. Alrighty, get our lid on. we go. There's our first one. And you can probably see now how it's getting clearer and clearer, and it's dark up here. So all this bit at the back is already drained out and gone into our little container. So it's starting to slow down here, so I'm going to open it a bit more. Grab hold of these tools. Shoe fly, don't really want flies in here, but it's part of nature. So we're about here now, where it's all clear, and it'll start draining through the top here and running down. It actually runs from the bottom, but because it's slowly falling down, it just looks like it appears going down this way. But yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Just love the way it just flows straight out of the hive. It's kind of got two colours in there. It's like a light yellow and a darker, almost an orange. Sort of lighter on this side and darker over here on this side. It's getting darker, so that could be the winter honey that was in there. So it's already about here now. So we're probably 3/4 through the frame. Probably get 2.5 containers out of this, I would say. This is about 2.5 kilos. Sorry, two large containers and one small container, I should say, so that's 2.5 kilos. It's a little bit darker than the lot I pulled out last time, but you get different colour honey each time, because the bees also store the honey in the separately in the frames. They tend to keep the same type of nectars together. So the great thing with flow hive is that you actually can harvest all the frames and you can get different flavours out of each frame. And don't let the colours on the back fool you. It was all light honey that was coming out. The reason these ones here are dark, they're my older frames, so the wax and that on them is a little bit darker, whereas this one here and these two are lighter because it was newer wax the bees have put on. So we're about here now, so we've still got that much of the frame to go. So it'll be at least that and probably another container. I'll just open that up a bit more, get the next container ready. Go all the way in. So that's all the way in and bottomed out now. So it'll just flow through. Let's grab another container ready. It's flowing pretty quick there, but it will be with the temperature of today. That's the thing, it flows quite, even in winter when you pull honey out, it flows quite fast because the inside temperature is what the bees keep the temperature at, which is actually about 30-ish degrees, or 28, 30 degrees. Of course today's temperature is 32, so it's a bit warmer. We'll see what happens. It's filling up nicely. Almost level there. Pretty close. There we go. Oh, bit of wax on the whacker there. I think I put the wrong lid on, but that's alright. Same thing again, it's got dark honey on one side and lighter yellow honey on the other side. It's not a big difference, but I can see it. It's pretty cool. So we'll probably get this jar. We might get a little bit out of another. We might get another jar under there. We'll see how we go. As you can see now, that wax is white all the way across there now. So they will start removing all this wax capping, pulling it all off. They'll either repurpose it in the hive or they'll actually take it out and get rid of it. And then once they've taken it all off, they'll fix all the cells, turn them back into honeycomb, and then refill them with more honey or nectar. And they dehydrate the nectar they get from the flowers, and then by dehydrating it, it turns into honey. With some enzymes and stuff that they add to it, which is pretty cool. That's slowing down quite a bit, so yeah, that's probably the only jar we're going to get out of it. I don't think we'll get another one. Well, that's 2.5-ish, or will be by the time that's full. So that's not too bad out of one flow frame. It's usually between 2.5 and 3. Don't always get 3. Usually only get about 2.5 per frame. There was probably a small bit here at the back that didn't have honey in it when I checked it, so it's probably that many cells, so it's enough to slow down the amount that you get, but otherwise it's quite a good little harvest there. The bees aren't concerned, and they're at the front there just flying around doing their bee thing, going in and out. If you notice a stick there at the front, I just put that under to tilt the hive back, because I don't have a proper flow hive base. It's one that I got from a different supplier. Here's a screen bottom board, so I've actually made up so that the tray fits in. As you can tell, a little bit of honey spilt in there and some bees have got in, and they're just going to clean that up. That was when we first opened it. You sometimes get a little bit of spillage. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so now we'll close it up. So pull the rods out, put them in the top, slide them through till it goes all the way to the front, and they're all the way home. Turn them around, lock them in place. Now they're locked down, it's now closed. And we can put the little tab back in the top. Whoops, got to put it up the right way. And it'll only go in if you've actually closed it. So there we go. Be over there on top of our honey. It's an old container, it's not my container obviously. So whatever's left we'll just let dribble out and drizzle out into there. And then once that's done, I will drop that off and it'll all be done. So it's just dripping out what's left, which is good. And if you have a look, you can even see they've actually started pulling some of the wax off. There's a few little spots here and there where they started peeling back the wax and realising it's empty, so they'll end up stripping all that wax off, hopefully repurposing it, reseal all the cells. After they reseal the cells, they'll refill them with nectar. So they'll either chew off the wax and throw it away, or if they want to, they may even recycle it somewhere else. Some bees do, some bees don't. Just depends on the bees. Thanks for coming along, and I'll just seal this up, and that'll be the end of this little video. Probably show you that bit as well. I'll end up with a little bit of honey left, but it'll just drip down inside when I remove the tube. So we take the little plug, carefully remove the tube, put the plug in place, put on a little bit of an angle so it's like the other ones. I know that I've taken honey. Any honey that is left in that tube is going to run out the little hole in the bottom down here, and once it drips in there the bees will collect it. They'll either put it back in or they'll eat it. So there, that's pretty much it. Cool. Not much left in that one, that's alright. I've got to get the other piece, now back in a tick. Oh, I'll just put my jar down. Another little piece of wood goes up in the top here. Turn the little lock around, hold it all in place. And it's all closed up for the bees to do their own thing. You see there's already holes here, there's even a bee just in there, actually right inside, just cleaning out that tube. Another one here going in, working on the inside, so they're just going to pull all this wax off. It's already pinhole all through here, there's all holes, all over here there's holes. I've already started to chew it all away. So they're working away on that wax to remove it and reuse it and reseal it. So that's pretty cool. Alright, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. So, for those who don't know how the Flow Hive works, although most of you should, if you follow the Flow Hive website, you'll see it's like a honeycomb matrix. Now, if I get in close enough, you'll actually notice between each of them there is a gap. Okay, so it's like a honeycomb, but it has a gap. See, some of these aren't aligned, so you can see there. These ones aren't aligned very well. These ones aren't aligned. Now this is a brand new frame. It's come out of the box, so I haven't even installed it. So even before you put these in, just because you come in a box doesn't mean they're ready to go. So you actually have to reset them. But what I'll show you, because obviously this is the back where the plug is, and there's your nice tube down the bottom where your other plug is, if it'll come out. Hang on. Oops, it's a bit tight. So obviously that's your tube. I'll have to clean that. There's a bit of stuff in there, but it's alright. I'll get a rag and we'll put up there and clean that. I'll just close that up for now. So obviously when you pull the plug out, it has a little key at the top which lines up in that top slot. So obviously you can see through there, some of them are not all the way down. A couple of them are just up a little bit. So what we'll do is, I'll put this here, and I'll put the key in, just to show you. I'll put it in the bottom. If I give that a turn, you'll notice combs will move. And they separate. So that's in the open position. That's not what you want when you put it into the actual hive itself. So they're all separated. So honey will actually run down through these channels. Because the capping on the top, it doesn't leak out. It runs down through these channels. The tube at the bottom runs all the way along and then flows out through the back. So to reset them, simply take the tool out. Whoops. You slip it in through the top. Getting a bit closer there. Right. Now if you watch, combs, when I turn it, will start to realign, as you can see. Okay. And once they're all aligned, then you can put them back into the flow hive. So obviously this one's just a spare that I have. Just make sure that they are all closed. There's still some there that aren't quite closed, so I'll just have to turn that a bit further. Hang on a second. So now that that's horizontal like that, or vertical I should say, sorry, and then this one down here is closed, that's obviously open at the top. And now all of those are closed. What you'll also notice is they're offset. So the two parts, one is raised and one is in. That also helps when they build their comb across, their wax across, and you break it, it actually keeps the capping across here. Because if they were completely flat and you broke it, it would actually break the capping. But because the bees put extra wax on one side and less on the other, when you move it, the part that is sticking out is fixed. The part that is in is what moves. So when you move it and it drops down, the honey can drop down and it stays behind that capping, which is what you would have seen earlier in my video on the side of the hive. So I just thought I'd show that to you. Alright, thanks for watching guys. We'll catch up with you next time, and I hope you enjoyed it. I may go through some native bees soon, and we'll see how we go. Bye for now.